Hey, what's up, everybody? It's Wednesday. I'm a couple minutes late, but here we are. And we've got comics, to my surprise. So let's go. Hey, what's up, everybody? Welcome to New Comic Book Day. I was thoroughly expecting to not have any new comics this week because I was looking on mycomicshop.com last night and they didn't have anything. They had like their DC books and that was it. So I was thinking like, okay, well, maybe everyone else is going to not have any comics. But I walked into the shop and not only did they have comics, but I went over budget. So there you go. It was a good day. So let's get started right away with that. First book I picked up from the shop this week, get the Marvel stuff right out of the way, is the Venom #1. I'm not going to be reading this book, to be quite honest. I just picked it up because it's, it's the #1, and there's maybe a first cameo or something like that in there. So I missed out on stuff like the Immortal Hulk #1. So that's one of those things, just pick up a #1 because, what the hell? It's just one of those things. Hey, what's up, Brood 6? Next is up another Marvel, the only other Marvel, in fact, Strange Academy. I'm probably going to be dropping Strange Academy after this, strange enough. Not because it's a bad book, not at all. Just that this is issue 13. I think this one I got just because I think they're going to talk more about the origin of this young lady whose name escapes me right now. So I just picked up a baker's dozen of the first 13 of Strange Academy, and I'll probably move on to something else because, that's enough for me right there. I'm a short series kind of a person. And starting with DC, this is the last ride for the last ride. Last ride #7. This is a Chip Zdarsky thing he's been doing. It's been okay. It's been pretty good. I'm curious to see how he wraps it up. He's done a lot. He did a lot more. I don't know if y'all read Spider's Shadow. This Elseworlds with DC. What is it? What If he did for Marvel? He just tore Spider-Man's world up in that in that What If. So he's been much more kind to the characters here in Justice League. But it's been a pretty decent read, so we'll see how that wraps up. Been pretty good. And also, last ride for me for the Joker. I'm probably capping off my Joker series as far as following the Joker series, I should say. Tiny in his writing, and it's good, but I have to make cuts with my DC and Marvel books, and it's just a numbers game, unfortunately, with this. So this is a $6 book I can probably allocate toward more indie stuff in the long run. And that being said, I'm picking up this #1 from Jeff Lemire, Robin and Batman. It is a #1. It's a 3-issue series. If I like it, it's only 3 issues, so it's not so bad. It was only the same price as any issue of the Joker, like $5.99. So not so bad. And Lemire does good stuff. Got the Black Hammer thing going on. Maze book. A lot of people like that. That was pretty good. So we'll see what he does with Robin and Batman, with Robin getting top billing. Out, #2, I should say. This is a make it or break it issue, probably for Out number 2, because there's some things about I like. The Native American translator, that's a character they can do a lot with. But as far as a vampire saving the Third Reich, I've heard of last ditch efforts, but even I got to see this. If they need us a vampire. The vampire will save us. I don't know. It's got to be better than that. We'll see what happens. And the Unbelievable Unteens. This has been a very enjoyable series, also by Jeff Lemire. Him and Tyler Crook are working on this. Tyler Crook's art's on this. Tyler Crook comes up later on. This has been good. 4 issues is good for me. It looks like they're gonna. Anybody's been following the issues. They've awakened after years of being having their memories wiped, except a couple of them, and They seem like they're going to disband, but it looks like they're going to get back together and get the band back together and the group back together, and it'll probably be okay. And we see more of them in the future in the pages of Black Hammer, I hope. This, I don't know how this ended up. I mean, I guess the cover kind of drew me in because it's a very cool cover. I mean, you just look at you out of the mylar, which makes it look even better. Just the cover is nice, and it's just like this matte finish to the cover, and it's written by the guy that did Bunny Mask. So I gave it a chance. We'll see how this turns out. I probably won't review it this week, but maybe at some point we'll see. This is on the stack to get reviewed. Now from getting into Image, Last Ride for Stillwater. Stillwater is not going to be on my pull list going forward. It's still not a bad book. It's just a numbers thing for me. But once we get to that 12 issue range, I'm probably not going to be running along. I like limited series. That way I can just sample a lot more stuff, and if something I really like, I'll just read that entire limited series and take it in chunks rather than buying like hundreds of issues of comics. I don't know where I'm going to put them, and that some may be good, but just have to you have to narrow down. There's like literally hundreds of comics out there, so you know the story. But anyway, long story short, Stillwater is going to with the kid gangsters coming in there in the last few issues. It's been pretty interesting. And this one, A Righteous Thirst for Vengeance. Had to see what happens in issue number 2. If y'all read issue number 1, you know what I'm talking about. This looks like it might be something pretty good. This is a limited series as well. Rick Remender doing good stuff again, like he did with so many other short series. I want to see what's happening with this. So I did a review of that last month, so that's pretty good. Last 2 books, 2 of my favorites for the week. This one, What's the Furthest Place from Here? This is Tyler Crook, I think. Tyler Boss. I'm sorry, Tyler Boss. I get my Tylers mixed up. This is Tyler Boss, and this is about kids living in the apocalyptic world, and they're just the last thing that they treasure is their music and their record collection. So I'm expecting to get I don't know if anybody else out there got the one that came with the records. I've been looking for that. I didn't see any at my shop. Is that coming out later, or is that tied up in production? But I'm definitely going to get that. And this book, I think it's $5.99, and you get like over 40 pages. Frank in the shop was telling me, I mean, you counted them, 40 pages of content. I mean, not counting the back matter, which is plenty of that, and there's like end pages, and it's like 40 comic book pages, for $5.99. And this is, you're getting your money's worth here with this book, and can't wait to read it. This is probably going to be in the reviews tonight for sure. This one, the last book, is Oswald's Body. Regarding the matter of Oswald's Body, this is the only one I've read so far, and I gotta say, the light's killing me here. I gotta say, I was expecting it could have been just a knockoff of Department of Truth. It is not that. It is not that. It deals primarily with the Kennedy assassination, and it focuses on that and conspiracy and this interesting setup that's happening around that and the days prior and the eventual exhumation of the body of Oswald. So this is going to be in the review tomorrow. So it's a good week. Yeah. Hey. Yeah. Thanks, Bryce. Yeah. So that's all for the books that I picked up. I'm probably going to do. I got some stuff from my comic shop coming, but that'll be a separate video. So let's go to the matter of next week's comics, and that's going to be, first from DC is Nightwing. It's got a Fear State tie-in. I've got a stack of Nightwing books that I need to read. I just been buying because I heard so much about them, and they've been on the low list of stuff to read, so they've been getting pushed back. But I'm going to get to them eventually because I know there's a lot of good stuff going on in that title. And next week's Fear State tie-in. Looks like it could be pretty exciting too. Next book is Nice House on the Lake, which is speaks for itself. I mean, so many of us are reading this book that it's not a secret anymore. The last few issues have been getting pretty gritty, so that's going to be something we all be looking forward to. Also from DC is they've been doing these Secret Files books, Batman Secret Files books. A lot of them are pretty good. Miracle Molly, some other characters, and this one is the Gardener, and this is a person associated with the origin, in some ways, of Poison Ivy, and I'm kind of curious about that. I do love the Batman universe. That's probably my main thing for DC. So I would probably be picking this up. I'll be able to find it, I'm sure, somewhere, one of those covers. Decorum is returning. Decorum is a book that anything by Hickman, to me, he's a great writer, but it's just not my taste. He's one of those wordy writers that I just, I end up, tying up my whole day reading the book and trying to absorb it. But I did read, I think, the first one or two issues of Decorum, and they were very good. But I probably got maybe the next two or three that I haven't read yet, so I just have to drop it eventually. But for those of you who are reading it, apparently it is coming back next week. And I'm not sure about Stillwater. I just got Stillwater. Am I late on this issue of Stillwater, or maybe I am. I'm not sure. But Stillwater number 12 is allegedly coming out next week, and I'm debating whether or not to get that. But even though I have dropped it, just so I can have an even dozen, but we'll see. But it's been a very good book so far. Primordial, the number 3 is coming out next week. I read number 2, and I read number 1 and 2 actually. And number 2 was a make it book, and it made it for me. Like, okay, it's if anybody's reading this, they know what happened, and it's it's kind of a thing with the animals that kind of pulled me in. It was from the animals' point of view, and it was kind of touching. So I'm in with Primordial, at least for the time being. This is another Jeff Lemire joint that's going on with him. He's killing all over the place. Oh, my dear God. Finally, Americana. Post-Americana, I should say, number 7. Probably, I don't know how many months late that is, but Post-Americana finally comes out. Hey, what's up, Nikki? How's it going? So this is one of those books that probably gets hurt by being late with their deadlines, I guess, because this was a pretty interesting series. It's got great art, Steve Scroce, and the great Dave Stewart doing coloring on it, and it's the artwork is so great. It's kind of like Dave Stewart does the coloring on vinyl too, but it's a totally different look. He does coloring on both books, so he makes both books look great in their own way. So I'll be picking this up for sure, and I can't wait to see what happens with this story. It has been pretty raucous, and I wish more people had read this book, but it had that erratic schedule and maybe got looked over. And that Texas Blood wraps up this story arc, which has been very good, very, like I say all the time, it's True Detective Season 1. Very similar to that in many ways, in my opinion. And this is something that's I think you should really check out. If you don't follow the book, get that second trade of this of that Texas Blood. I think it's worth the pick up. And I'm not reading Sweet Paprika. I reviewed the first issue. It was okay, and I love the artwork of Mirka Andolfo. That's why I even include this in the next week's previews, because I think it deserves some shine. It's a little like a little lighthearted, sexy romp, like a kind of like a, I don't want to stereotype anything, but it's really good artwork, and it's women asserting their sexuality in the workplace and such. Good for them. It's just not particularly interesting for me, but the artwork is great, and I think the artist is really, really good too. I'm really liking Ma. Ma is I'm all in on that to see where that goes. You can It's a heavy subject, but if you can get past that, this is worth a read. Um, um, I don't know a lot about the author, but the author knows what they're doing. The author is really good at writing a story like this, and it's been good so far. I've read the first two issues, and can't wait to see what happens more with this book. Now here's a book that I just discovered. Sometimes these books just get past me. There's just so many of them. Even through the previews, it's like looking through the phone book trying to find your books that you want to order. Radio Apocalypse. This is from Vault, and it's kind of similar to, I guess, maybe to the book that came out this week. What's the First Place from Here? And that this is the last radio station on the planet. So there's room to grow with both those premises. So we'll see what happens with that. I'm definitely going to be looking for it. Vault books are kind of hard to find, so good luck, people that want to check this out. But I will be looking for it as well. And I think this is the B cover, or maybe the 1 in 25 cover for Eat the Rich, which I believe is coming to an end over at Boom Studios. And it took kind of a turn last issue, for anyone who's reading it may have heard or have read. And I'm down with it just to see where it goes as far as that character's involvement with these circumstances that are happening around her. So Eat the Rich, it's going to be wrapping up, and can't wait to see what it's about. And last but certainly not least is Gun Honey, and which established itself as definitely an adult comic book last issue. If you're reading the series, if this cover doesn't further strengthen that, then I don't know what to tell you. And also proves that Joanna Tan, the lead character, is indeed bisexual, as to the light of many a fanboy. This is really a good series, though, without all the sexy stuff withstanding. It's pretty exciting, well drawn, and the covers are just off the chain. So I'll be looking. It's hard to find for me out here, so I'll be trying to find that wherever I can pick it up. I'll be looking for that third issue of Gun Honey. So hey, what can I tell you, folks? That is all I've got this week. So I'm going to be doing another unboxing tomorrow with all the stuff I've been getting from my comic shop and from this other place that's kind of like eBay. Got Hip Comic. Yeah, Hip Comic is thanks to McKinley Richard for hipping me up to that one. I've been checking that out, going and getting stuff from them. So that's it. I'll be doing a review tomorrow also. And that's it. So I'll see you guys again next week. Thanks for stopping by, everybody who came by, and those who are watching on the replay. And see you guys next time. Take it easy.